The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and sponsored by international award-winning author Mia Mosinzia of Missing. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 40 podcast platforms, as well as HamiltonRadio.net, Diamonds FM, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We can be heard in over 100 countries, featuring over 1,000 well-known and amazing guests throughout the globe. And named one of the top 100 global podcasts in the New York Weekly Times, Hollywood Entertainment News, Los Angeles Weekly Times, Apple, and Chartable. So sit back and relax and enjoy another great episode of the award-winning Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosinzia of Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We're here with a terrific gentleman from Spectra Music, who's a U.S. Air Force veteran, also singer-songwriter living outside Branson, Missouri. Began his career singing in the home, whereas his mom is a pianist and dad is a vocalist, and exposed to country music through his mother. Also forego his music career, temporarily served in the U.S. Armed Air Force, and also went to tech school. He also was self-taught on guitar after his wife gave him a guitar for Christmas in January 2006, and performs locally and for benefits active duty members. He's got a new album called Redline featuring the title track Good and Gone. We'll be playing those during the show. Live, ladies and gentlemen, plus studios from somewhere outside Branson, Missouri, the amazing multi-talented singer-songwriter, U.S. Air Force veteran living outside Branson, Missouri, with his new release Redline featuring the title track Good and Gone and more. Ladies and gentlemen, from Spectra Music, the multi-talented Rich Owen. Rich, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, no, thank you. I sure appreciate the opportunity to talk with you today.
Well, it's great to have you on board, Rich. So you're a singer-songwriter and a U.S. Air Force veteran living outside Branson, Missouri. You began your career singing in the home where your mom's a pianist and dad's a vocalist. You're exposed to country music through your mom. You forego your music career, temporarily served in the Air Force and went to tech school. You self-taught on guitar after your wife gave you a guitar for Christmas back in 2006 and performed locally and for benefits active duty members throughout Branson, Missouri. And you have a new album called Redline featuring the title track as well as some other music as well. And before getting to all that, Rich, tell us how you first got started.
Well, I've been singing all my life. When I went into the Air Force, every year I would get into the Air Force talent contest that they would have, hoping to get a spot on the Air Force's touring musical variety show that they do. Never got that, but I had this old guitar that a friend had given me, and we carried it around for years. And I finally one day said, I think I'd like to sit down and learn how to play that. Then maybe I'll be popular at parties. So it was a horrible guitar, and it sounded terrible. I was getting really discouraged. But my beautiful wife, Colleen, was working in a store that it was an entertainment store, movies, music, books. And for Christmas, they had gotten a load of these Silvertone guitars.
Oh, wow.
And she thought, so she thought, okay, well, I'll buy one of these for Rich, and then he'll have no more excuses.
and no excuses indeed. And what was that other precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career?
Well, I guess I would have to say, as far as the songwriting goes, and really starting to take this as a serious thing I wanted to do as a career, it actually happened shortly after my wife bought me that guitar. Mm-hmm. I sat down and I learned some chords, and I started getting a little bit better at it. And one day my wife and I were sitting talking about the future and what it would hold. And she said something like, well, you're stuck with me forever. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, then I ain't ready for forever to end. Uh-huh. And both our faces went, hey, that'd be a great song.
Oh,
so
nice.
I sat down And I wrote the very first song, a love song for my wife. It's called I Ain't Ready for Forever to End. And that's how it all started. There were plenty of people on the way, of course, who encouraged me, listened to that song, listened to some of my early songs and said, you know, you've really got something here. You need to keep at it. You've got a special talent. So, but that's how it started. Started with that song off the cuff, my wife and I talking in the bedroom.
Oh, that's so amazing. And what a place to do as well, too. And of course, you know, you got started through your wife with a guitar and everything else. And who are some of your favorite singers, songwriters, and musicians growing up, Rich?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, so many. My mom used to listen all the time to Glenn Campbell and John Denver, Elvis Presley. She's a big Elvis Presley fan.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are kind of some of my earlier musical influences, Kenny Rogers. But later, it was kind of the music of the 90s that really kind of sucked me into country music. Garth Brooks, Brooks and Dunn, later Kenny Chesney, some of the new musicians too, of course, always give me new inspiration to listen to some of the newer folks like Luke Combs and that. But early on, it was those things that my mom had exposed me to as far as musical influences go.
Oh my gosh! And you got some influence yourself too. We'll talk about the your release Redline featuring the title track "Good and Gone." We'll play those during the show with Rich Owen from Spectra Music. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SoundWeb Studios. Visit online at SoundWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. SonicWeb Studios is the answer. SonicWeb Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960 or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com and over 40 podcast platforms. Heard in 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio. Also, Apple Music, Odyssey, Podbean, as well as Pandora. And also follow us on all social medias. Make sure you subscribe to BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube. Also follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and more under the Mike Wagner Show. Take us with you on any mobile device. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast, T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, and more. Makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today and support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're here, multi-talented singer-songwriter, U.S. Air Force veteran, living outside of Branson, Missouri, Rich Owen here on the Mike Wagner Show. And before we talk about your music as well, too, and plus your 4 albums with Home, God, and Country, What's Left in My Heart, Tip Jar, and tell us about your ventures being the Air Force.
Well, I actually spent 20 years in the Air Force. I went in when I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
I went in as an enlisted guy. The Air Force had a program that after you were in as an enlisted person, you could get your degree. They would send you, if you got selected for it, they would send you to school for an engineering degree.
Oh, wow.
So I got selected for that, very competitive, and went to Arizona State University, got my bachelor's in electrical engineering. After that, I got my commission, but went to officer training school, got my commission as second lieutenant, and worked in various different types of jobs. My last job was probably my most exciting and fun one. I was actually one of the engineers responsible for maintenance and launching and disposal of GPS satellites, so the global positioning system.
Oh, wow. You're throwing away GPS satellites? That's got to be a cool job. I want to do something like that.
Well, it's funny, too, because we actually are the oldest one we ever disposed of. Had been operating continuously for 25 years. And I can't even imagine owning a car that long and having it keep going the whole time.
Oh, my gosh. It's like, who connects to GPS 25 years ago? I guess that's a big question.
Yeah. No, exactly. Well, that one was one of the ones that was there during the first Gulf War. Before my time, as far as that goes, but the fun thing that I like to say is, yes, I'm a country music singer, but my day job was rocket scientist.
Huh. Okay. All right. And what are some of the other exciting ventures you did? You were in a tour in Iraq with the Air Force. So what are some of the other stops you made?
Well, it's interesting. I can't actually claim that I was over in Iraq. I was not. Now, all honor goes to those who served over there. I knew a lot of friends who went over. Mm-hmm. My job was such. At my first job as a officer, I was dealing with intercontinental ballistic missiles. Mm-hmm. We don't have any of those overseas. And then later, I had a job that I could tell you all about it, but then I'd probably have to kill you.
It's perfectly okay. I'm still alive. I'll guarantee you that. So
okay. No, it was one of those jobs that, again, they did not want me overseas, let alone somewhere where it could be dangerous. Mm-hmm. It was just one of those kind of jobs. It was great fun and super fascinating. And if we ever sit down over a beer, I'll tell you more about it. But yeah, so that's I guess the most, it's funny, I guess you'd say the most impactful thing that ever happened to me while I was in the Air Force. I was down in White Sands, New Mexico, stationed at Holloman Air Force Base. Mm-hmm. And I was involved in a military vehicle rollover that nearly killed me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they had to fly me from there by helicopter down to William Beaumont Medical Center down in El Paso, Texas, and I was, took me a long time to recover. Mm-hmm. When I got back to my unit, finally got back on duty, they had posted a picture. You remember the old crash dummy? You can learn a lot from a dummy.
Oh, crash
ads that they used to have.
Yeah, crash test dummies. Yes, I remember those.
They had stuck one of those up on the door to my office, and instead of dummy, it had crossed out captain. You can learn a lot from a captain, and then it had a little "You are here" arrow.
Oh my goodness! So, crash test captains, I like that.
Yeah. So I am a partially disabled veteran. Big shout out to the VA, and especially the veterans organizations that help the people getting out of the service to get their VA benefits started, and that DAV is one of the ones that I worked with, and they were phenomenal. Mm-hmm. So that was my 15 minutes of fame. Got in the base newspaper and everything.
Oh wow! Okay, and you're also paying back as well too by playing for the active duty troops and veterans back home with your music.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And some of the first music that I wrote was tribute music to the troops. And the second album that I did, What's Left of My Heart, that song is about a disabled veteran. And his coming home and all the things he worried about when he got home. I have to tell you that my one big dream as a country music performer is to someday do a USO tour and get to go over and perform in front of the troops out where they're deployed. Mm-hmm. I've done that locally. I've worked with the USO at the local base at Fort Carson back when I was in Colorado Springs for a while. And that would be the dream come true. You get to go and perform for the troops overseas.
That's so amazing. And plus, you talked about your second album, What's Left My Heart, also Home, God, and Country, and also Tip Jar. And tell us about those albums.
Home, God, and Country was the very first album. They were my first 10 original songs that I had written and got recorded in the studio. And I was learning a lot. There were some real gems on there, but as with most new songwriters, they were all too long for radio.
Uh-huh.
I think I only had 2 of them there that were less than 4 minutes. The rest of them were like, 5 minutes long. And that's something that you learn as you go along. The next one, What's Left of My Heart, I felt was a lot more polished. I felt I'd made a lot of growth as a songwriter on those. Again, there were songs on there that were related to the troops. Other ones that were just life experiences. One of them I wrote for a good friend of mine, this beautiful, wonderful woman. I usually only use the kind of words for my wife, but she's a real good friend to both Colleen and I, so I can say that. And we used to joke that she was a cougar.
Oh, wow.
And so I wrote this song, That Woman is a Cougar, dedicated to her. She loved it, by the way. Absolutely. The next album after that was Tip Jar. Again, a evolution in my songwriting. Tip Jar, the title track on that is really about what I was going through at the time. Because you get to a point, you're very energized when you first get started on something like this. You run into the walls, you run into the times where you're playing there in some bar and there's like 3 people there. Less than half of them are listening to what you're doing. Somebody always wants you to play some song that you hate, but they ask you, so you got to do it. Somebody's always there. Play Free Bird.
Oh, yeah, I get that. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So that's what Tip Jar is about. The other songs, again, pulling from things that had happened in my life sometimes, or happened to people I know. Sometimes just writing about things, subjects that I would just, had strong feelings about and wanted to get down on paper somehow. And they became songs and got them recorded and went into that album. So again, it's an evolution. Each album I felt I had learned a lot, getting to the point now where I understand how to write a decent song that isn't 5 minutes long. I believe all of them on Redline are under or right at 4 minutes. I think there's like one that's like 4 minutes and 3 seconds, and the rest of them are all shorter. It's a skill. It's a learned skill.
Okay, well, certainly a learning skill indeed. Doing a great job of it. We'll play the title track of Redline from Richowen in just 1 minute. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios, and brought to you by official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mulsonzia Missing. We'll be back with you, multi-talented Rich Owen of Redline from Spectra Music, after this time out.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to The Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with a multi-talented singer-songwriter, U.S. Air Force veteran living outside of Branson, Missouri, Rich Owen from Spectra Music here on the Mike Wagner Show. Right now, here's the title track from Redline from Rich Owen right here on the Mike Wagner Show.
Pushing that red line. Let's push it. Pushing that red line, right up and cut into the inside. Stands rushing by with a roar and the blink of an eye. Ain't gonna take it slow. Got 500 miles to go. Living this life one lap at a time. Pushing the red line. Yeah, I'm pushing the red line.
Great song. Redline, the title track from Rich Owen here on the Mike Wagner Show. Tell us more about that song and what inspired you to write it.
Yeah, absolutely. I had actually been asked by a friend of mine, television producer Michael Bloom of Solaris Entertainment Media. He had been planning to do a TV show that was like the Wives of NASCAR.
Oh,
sort
my
of like
goodness.
The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And so he had, we had worked together before, and he'd been trying to help my music career along. And he said, "Hey, Rich, I need a song for this." And he sent me a little musical clip of him playing some guitar, and I listened to it, and I said, "Yeah, that's not it, Mike."
Oh my goodness.
So and Mike's a great guy. He's a very talented guy. But in this case, we had actually just taken my youngest son to a NASCAR race.
Oh my goodness.
And I took that and also watched the Disney movie Cars about 16 times with him.
So, I remember that. Yeah, that was a great movie. Loved it. Yes, great movie.
Yeah. so I sat down and I looked up a webpage of NASCAR terminology and basically wrote a song from it. I had some help from my bass player in the band at the time, also a very talented songwriter, Marvin Shelton.
Mm-hmm.
And I had done all the lyrics, and I said, "This is kind of what it sounds like." And then I said, "But it's not there yet. Would you take a crack at the music for me?"
Uh-huh.
And he did, and he came up with that. That really, that's not the one that he and I recorded first. We did a scratch track, but it's very, very similar. And the whole thing with the in beginning for the album one has the "Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines."
Just like the Indy 500, Talladega, everything like that. Daytona 500, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how that song came about. And unfortunately, the TV show never got made, but I got a great song out of it. So I'm very thankful to Mike Bloom for putting me onto that project.
Oh, that's so amazing. And you also have Good and Gone as well, too, play at the end of the show on the Mike Wagner Show. Tell us more about Good and Gone and what inspired you to write that one.
Good and Gone was one of those songs that harkens back to long time ago. The girlfriend leaving, basically. It's in what is every other country song I think ever written is probably about that, or something like that. So I had got this idea for the song. I was looking for a hook for a song about this, and I heard another song that had a line in it, not the hook, but had a line in there that that was. I'm trying to remember the song now. Gosh, I can't remember now, but it was a similar type of idea.
Uh-huh.
So I took that and I said, what would that be like? Being the one that essentially gets dumped. And not because there was anything wrong with the relationship, just because that other person was just a free spirit that wasn't going to be tied down.
Right. Uh-huh.
And so I wrote it from it's often the other way around. A lot of the songs from female country artists are the other way around. He came into my life and then he left and left me alone, and all I have is the memories. So I want to do something like that, but from the guy's perspective.
Uh-huh.
And so that's kind of where the song idea came from. And it really came together remarkably fast. It was one of those ones that I think I had the basic song written in about a half an hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I knew in my head what I wanted the sound of the song to be like, the feel and the vibe. And so I sat down with the guitar and the lyrics and worked that out. Sent the scratch demo out to a studio I had been working with in Nashville, JBO Productions, and Jeff Bohannon is the producer, and he produced that song, did a phenomenal job on it. I swear the guy is like monitoring my dreams at night, because when I dream of what these songs should sound like, somehow he manages to just nail it every time. So that's what he did with this one. So yeah, big shout out to Jeff Bohannon, JBO Productions, did a phenomenal job for me.
And it sounds like it as well too. And if there's other songs from Redline, and if there's other songs you have out, feel free to talk about those as well.
Yeah, actually I would. That's great. So there's a number of them on. I really love this album. And yeah, it's the guy whose album it is saying that, but truly, every song on this album I just really loved. Starting kind of going down the list, there's one called Line Dance King that I co-wrote with Nashville writer William DeLuigi.
Mm-hmm.
I went out to Nashville for a writing session, wrote that with him, and that was about this guy who's, he's an everyman. You pass him on the street, you wouldn't even give him a second thought. But he walks into a honky tonk, puts on a cowboy hat, and suddenly he's the line dance king. And I'm hoping that someone will come up with a specific dance for this, like they did for Copperhead Road or Boot Scoot and Boogie, because it's just perfect for it. Another one is Ordinary Girl. That again is written for my wife. You wouldn't think so from listening to it, but the title. But she had always complained that all of the country songs always had blue-eyed, blonde-haired female subjects of them.
Right.
And she said, what about us red-haired, brown-eyed girls? Don't we ever get anything? And I said, he said, why not just make it about an ordinary girl? And I said, well, you're not an ordinary girl. You're an extraordinary girl.
Nice.
So that's where the song went. So it's my very special, extraordinary, ordinary girl.
So that's so amazing.
Written for my wife. Another one is A Line in the Sand that I again wrote as a project for Mike Bloom. He was looking to put together a big benefit concert for anti-bullying to be the message, kind of like a farm aid but it was for bullying. And so that song is about how to keep that from happening, how to be the one that steps in and says, I'm going to be different. I'm going to extend a hand to that person rather than let them go down a dark place or let them, end up being isolated and alone. Another song on there is Ozark Angel. This was another one that I wrote with William DeLuigi. When I lived in Colorado, I wrote a song called Colorado Sunshine about all the lovely ladies in Colorado. So when I got here to the Ozarks, I figured I'd better do the same. Otherwise, they'd feel like I was cheating on them or something. So I wrote Ozark Angel. There's another one called Inconceivable.
Oh, yeah, that's one.
Yeah. So my kids, my daughters especially, their favorite movie is The Princess Bride.
Oh, that's a classic. My wife loves that movie. Oh, my gosh. As you wish, my dear. As you wish.
Exactly. So I had to write this song for them. And it's one of those ones that if you're not paying attention and it comes on, you might not realize what it's about until the very end of it. Then you'll go, oh, it's The Princess Bride.
Inconceivable.
Exactly. And all you have to say that right. Inconceivable.
Oh, yeah, I remember that before he drank the poison. I don't want to give too much away here, so.
No. So it's a very fun song and very lighthearted and whimsical, very much like the movie was. Another song is Mosquito Pass. I wrote that as an homage to the band that I was in once before called Mosquito Pass. And Mosquito Pass is actually a pass up in the Rockies, up near Leadville, Colorado. And when I was with them, I said, I got to write a song for us. Well, we never got to do it as a band, but the song turned out to be really fun and really good. So very, very Zac Brown kind of sound to it. There's When I'm Gone, which is the Why Didn't I Stop Drinking Before She Left Me song. Very sad, extremely sad. The one on there that's probably the most special to me is one called All God's Children.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote this song during the middle of the riots that happened back in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I literally... And I'm not an outwardly super religious kind of guy as far as what's showing that. But honestly, literally, I think God woke me up in the middle of the night after I'd been watching the news and horror of it, what was going on, and seeing all that and the strife and the tearing the country apart. And all I could think of was, we're all God's children. This shouldn't be happening. So that song there is especially meaningful to me. It is I guess you'd call it a country gospel tune.
Uh-huh.
And it just turned out really, really well. And the last song on there, well, I've covered them all, is called That's the Fun. A friend of mine that I was in a band with, Ross Huskinson, we were sitting around, talking about a show that we were going to do together. And what we were, let's do this and let's do that. And his wife, Jennifer, said, oh, yeah, that's the fun. You got to do that. So I said, the fun. Oh, this is so funny how song ideas come to you. And this was one, like I said, I heard that and I go, oh, yeah, this is going to be good. So that was a nice way to end the album because it's fast paced, it's upbeat. it's kind of carefree, and it lightens the mood after you just heard All God's Children.
Oh, my gosh. And what an album you've got. And where can we find Redline and all your music at, Rich?
All right. So Redline is available at iTunes. It's available at Amazon.com. It's on Spotify, and the rest of my music also is out there on Spotify and SoundCloud, all the usual suspects. But the two places for sure you'll find Redline are at iTunes and at Amazon.com. There are links on my website, richowenmusic.com, that will take you right there to those places so you can download the albums. Depending on how it does, we'll hopefully have physical CDs. Well, I have a small number of physical CDs that they gave me for shows to sell as merchandise and to give out. But we've got to see how well it does first before they look to try to go put it in Walmarts and things like that. But for now, it's downloadable and it's available there. Encourage everybody to do it. It's a great album. We're just so proud of it.
All right, well, simply check it out with the multi-talented singer-songwriter, U.S. Air Force veteran living outside Branson, Missouri, Rich Owen from Spectra Music here on the Mike Wagner Show. Just a few more things, Rich, and we'd love to have you back on. What else can we expect from you in 2024 and beyond?
Well, all right. So I've got a new band here that I've put together, and we are beginning to do shows. So one of the things we hope to do is to do some touring. It's been a lifelong dream of mine. Well, my musical life anyways, a long dream of getting out and touring. Looking forward to that. I've been continuing to write music and co-write music with some other talented writers. We're going to be back in the studio again before the end of the year, working on the next album. Beyond that, I expect to take my wife on a really nice long cruise sometime early next year.
Oh, my gosh, that'd be so sweet. And make plenty of memories, music, guitar, and everything else. Maybe write about a cruise. Who knows? So anything's possible, Rich.
There you go.
There you go.
And I always bring my guitar with me when we go on. My wife and I, that's one of the things we love to do is we love to go on cruises. And so I always bring it with me. And again, just something to do on sea days. And who knows, you never know when someone's going to say, hey, we got a spot here. Go play with the band tonight.
There you go. I think that's a great idea. I love what you got. I think I'll start doing that too. So, oh my gosh, I'm getting some great ideas, Rich. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Biggest influence in my career?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there's two answers to that.
Okay.
Well, actually three. Home, God, and country are the three biggest influences. But as far as musical influences go, I'd probably say, Garth Brooks is one of those people who I really take a lot of my style when I'm on stage from him. I love the range of music he has, everything from honky tonk stuff to beautiful ballads. And I if I could get away with it, I would do nothing but ballads for my whole show. But darn it, people want to dance, so I guess I got to play the fast ones too. So yeah, there's lots of them, obviously musical influences, but the home, God, country, and then Garth Brooks. How's that?
Oh, certainly amazing. Great influences indeed. That's right. Yeah. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Find people will support you. Find people who are willing to help you and be willing to help others. So at some point, you're going to be able to turn around and help someone else up. There have been people who have just with a word even said something or indicated something that, wow, what you're doing is good. Keep at it. So surround yourself by positive people. And when you get down, write a song about it.
That is very good advice. I like that. We're with the multi-talented singer-songwriter, U.S. Air Force veteran, Rich Owen of Spectra Music here on the Mike Wagner Show. Rich, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'd love to have you back. Once again, what's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your music?
Yeah, my website is richowenmusic.com. Links to purchase music are there. There's videos of us. There's all of the songs that have been released so far, except for the Redline hasn't been put up yet, but you can sample them there. Contact me through the website. There's a place that you can sign up for a email. So when we're doing a show or we got any music being released, we'll get that out for people to, we'll put that out on our email as well as all the social media. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, all the usual suspects. And, that's pretty much it.
All right, we'll certainly check you out. Once again, Rich, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We love having you back. We wish you all the best. And Rich, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Well, thank you, Mike. And it's been an honor and a privilege to be on your show.
Your lipstick stains the glasses in my cupboard. Your perfume lingers in the air. Get away, I see your face in every sunset. Girl, you know, it really just ain't fair. Maybe one day I'll wake to find that when I look left, I won't feel the pain of the empty pedal lying there beside me. All the tears that start falling down like rain. You took the good out of good and gone. Strip the moon out of moving on. Now I'm stuck here in my lonely where your memory still haunts me. You took the good out of good and gone. He always said this love we had was fleeting. Your restless heart was bound to break away. Yeah, he said that we should live here in the moment. But girl, somehow I always thought you'd stay. Yeah, I should have known I couldn't be that lucky. That love would find its way to me. One day I woke to find the dream had shattered by the power of your longing to be free. Yeah, you took the good out of good and gone. Strip the moon and move it on. Yeah, I'm stuck here in my lonely where your memory still haunts me. You took the good out of good and gone. Yeah, you took the good out of good and gone. Strip the moon out of moving on. Now I'm stuck here in my lonely where your memory still haunts me, freezing my heart like a cold gray dawn. You took the good out of good and gone. You took the good out of good and gone.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show. Brought to you by international award-winning author Mia Mohsen-Zia of Missing, and powered by Sonic Web Studios. Be sure to join us again on over 40 podcast platforms, and of course on the MikeWagnerShow.com, HamiltonRadio.net, and Diamonds FM. Don't forget to support our program with a generous donation at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Thanks for listening.